personal story, great story label, is developing in Cleveland right now with everything that Myles Garrett is doing for the Browns defense. It's really fun to watch him. It's painful to watch the Browns at times because you just don't know what product they're putting on the field on all three phases, but you know what you're always going to get from Myles Garrett, which means his name continues to pass guys on all-time sack leader. This season alone, the man has 15 sacks. However, in his last 3 games, he has 10, which means he's jumping guys on the all-time sacks leaderboard like J.J. Watt, Chandler Jones, T.J. Watt. It's crazy. A lot of those guys still playing, but Myles Garrett is constantly on the move in the opposing team's backfield and in NFL history on the sack list. So the accolades are well within reach, and that's wonderful, but the Browns aren't winning. Manti, is this a big deal, or is it a no big deal?
I think it's a huge deal, Jamie, because if we all remember where we were when historical moments happened. I remember where I was in 2005 when there was the Bush push, Notre Dame versus USC at Notre Dame. I was at my Uncle David's house and just crying because at that time I was a USC fan and I thought USC was going to lose. I remember where I was in 06 when LT broke that rushing record. He ran to the left side against the Denver Broncos and how they celebrated. They lifted him up and he pointed that way. I also remember where I was on October 8, 2018, when Drew Brees broke the all-time passing record currently held by Peyton Manning. I was literally on the sideline, guys, watching this play where he hit Tre'Quan Smith on the right side and he's running down the sideline. I remember how I felt. I remember what I did. Matter of fact, I think we have clips of what I actually did. Like, we're all celebrating. You have Drew Brees over there. We're congratulating him. And everybody's in a helmet. And then you see one dude run on there with a beanie, and that's your boy. Your boy, like, let's celebrate with the boy. I'm so glad that Sean didn't get mad at me. That that's me. That's where I remember where I was in historical moments and historical times. And for Myles Garrett to continue to make and accomplish all of these great things if and when he does break another record, I think there are going to be so many people that are going to remember where they are, Isaac.
Yeah, I mean, the question here is, why are we talking about this? Why is this important for this segment, a big deal or no big deal? It's because the Browns consistently have not created a winning culture, have not been able to find a consistent quarterback situation. So now we have to talk about, is this a big deal that Myles is doing this? Is this an important part of this franchise and the bigger picture? If he was on a winning team, this would be all we're talking about, right? And it would be a big deal, and it wouldn't be a question. The issue right now is the team that he's on, and we talked about this a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
They have to do better for Myles. When you have a guy who's got 15 sacks through 11 weeks, that's crazy. That doesn't happen. We're talking about a guy who is generational, and this franchise has not been able to keep up with him up to this point. So I'm just frustrated that we even have to talk about this because of the franchise that he's been in.
Isaac, I am picking up what you are putting down. I can't stand this. This is a shame to me. He's going to do it. I think he's got it. I think he's got what, 7 games left or however many sacks he's going to get. Understand that Myles Garrett is likely, in my opinion, going to break the sack record, which is one of the records that we do really follow and remember. He's probably going to do it in Week 18 on a last-place terrible team on the road against a terrible Cincinnati team, not even so much as the Browns fans being there to celebrate, to cheer for him. This is weird. This is really weird. This is not going to be memorable. This is not going to be something that we're like, wow, that great 2025 Myles Garrett season. At least, listen, TJ Watt is 22 and a half, and he tied the record. He did that in the final week of the season against the Ravens, the rival Ravens, to get the Steelers into the playoffs. It had some stakes. This is empty calories. He could have 10 sacks in the last game. And you're like, yeah, great, it's the Browns, it's Myles Garrett. It's just like, it's a football shame to me that if this happens, I really respect that number. And this is going to follow Myles Garrett around. This is not going to be a great thing for him. It's going to be looked at, oh, yeah, like you were on that terrible team and you took tons of money after saying you didn't want to be on the team. And then you showed up and the team sucked like you knew it would, and you had a bunch of sacks. Like, look at Strahan. Strahan's got to answer every single time about their sack record that Favre handed it to him. It's a loaded thing for the rest of your life. So, I don't know. Like, I love Myles Garrett as a player, and I think he seems like a really interesting guy. I hope he doesn't get the sack record. I don't want it to be. I want it to be on something more triumphant, more memorable, and not so loaded and negative. I hope he doesn't get it.
I appreciate what y'all are saying. It's like either forcing our hand to talk about this headline and this record, and it's we all hate empty calories, but it is the holiday season, so sometimes you just have to deal with it. Kyle, maybe